Man, it's like sometimes it's crazy to think that we're really in the last days. To some people, that's that might be a shocker. To others, not so much. But like the more that you really look around, the world around us, seeing everything that's going on, just all these just laws and rules, regulations and stuff that's being passed, like, yeah, you can truly tell we're really in the last days. And the devil, he's really trying. He's really trying people. And obviously this is nothing new. You know he's been deceiving humanity for literally all the time. So this is nothing new. But you know like but you can tell that like he's really like ramping things up, in these last days. Like, just it's like we just seem to like glorify any and everything that doesn't have to do with Christ or doesn't lead anybody closer to Christ. It's like any and everything that leads anybody away from Christ, that just seems like the things that we're glorifying and idolizing these days, which, you know, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. I look around, and for me, a major example I can find that, things that we lift up that don't lead others to Christ is, all this talk about GTA 6 and, when it's coming out, like, people have been raving about this game, like literally foaming at the mouth, raving about this game for years, and it doesn't even come out to next year, I believe, and people still just rave about it. And I get it, it's something that hasn't had a new game since over a decade, but still, like, people talk about it, like, people idolize it, like the way they talk about it, like, it's just crazy, you know. But when it comes to Jesus, like, all we hear is crickets, and GTA is a game that literally, at least in my perspective, it like it promotes sin. Like, there's different sin in the game. For example, you got things like lust in the game, theft, crime, murder. Like, it just like it depicts different sin in that game. So, and the fact that people around us like idolize that stuff, like, that's literally the influence of Satan himself. And it's just crazy because he knows. And like, what makes it even more crazy is that we're the ones who talk about it and normalize it. But not even that was just an example, but just just different things around us. Like, you look around in your daily life, you'll definitely find some things that show that we're in the last days. And you know the devil gets us to idolize these things because he knows these are things that, like, it ain't leading nobody closer to Christ. Like, it's not at all. But I feel like the scripture right here that I'm about to give, like, really, like, fully puts it into perspective as to why we are the way we are these days. And the scripture I'm coming from is 2 Timothy 3 verses 2 through 4. For men will be lovers of themselves, of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, with no self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. And, if you look around, you'll be able to find each of these examples in the world that we live in. And this fully encapsulates why, nobody wants to talk about Christ. It's because we glorify all of these things that's literally named in this verse. People are committing all these wicked deeds. Sin has never been, glorified and honored and promoted as much as it is today. It's just crazy. And, like, we're really in the last days. That's something that, no believer can stress enough, that we're really in the last days. And yeah, we got to keep our head on the swivel and stay vigilant. And, as followers of Christ, if we don't cry loud, then who is? And if not now, then when? Because these times are really serious, and Jesus said it perfectly in Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. This is literally telling us, come out of hiding. Be bold for Christ. As followers of Christ, we can't be hidden. As the world gets darker and darker, our light shines brighter and brighter. So, I don't know. That's really all I came here to say, that this world is getting crazy, bro. Like, is really getting crazy. So I hope this just encourages someone to, get right with Christ. And if you are right with Christ, stay right with him, because things just going to get worse. Things are just going to get worse. And, it's time to be bold for Christ and let the rest of the world know who we repping and who we stepping for. So I love you. And Lord willing, I'll catch y'all. I'll see y'all when I see y'all.